Which Legion arm should you max out first? Which one is the best versus mobs, but also bosses, granting you stagger? And that question is very important because upgrading one costs you 1 caliber, another 2, and another 3. So 6 Legion calibers in total. And if you want to have it maxed out early to get a flame explosion, for example, yes, I got the firearm maxed out, but that's not the best one. The third upgrade is generally the most amazing one. And for me, I thought the Falcon Eyes is the number one. Because you're shooting, you get a cool explosion, it hits multiple enemies, super nice. The problem with this Legion arm is you don't always have the time to stand this still versus a boss, and it does barely any stagger damage. So versus normal mobs, great, but versus bosses, quite useless. Also, if you're looking for the upgrades, bigger explosion range, quicker reload, not that good. And the emergency shot can be used while dodging, makes it quite nice, but it still doesn't take away the no stagger. Interestingly enough, I did max out the Flamberge first because it seemed to be very good with a wave of fire for the range, strength and combustion. If you do more, you do more. And then last but not least, a flame explosion, which also pushes back and does some stagger. And the range shall not be underestimated. You can partially do this to actually hurt opponents outside their weapon range while they can't even hit you. Plus, there's always the chance to explode and stagger an opponent. And as you see there, that was a great stagger, right? I could straight up go for my execute. That one is good versus bosses and mobs. But there's one that excels even more. That's not the Deus Ex Machina. But if you do really like to put in those landmines to beat police officers and any of these big elite mobs that you're struggling against, it works quite well to put down some of your bombs and then just have them walk into it and take the damage. Number one to go for though is the puppet string. Let me explain, show you against elite opponents how good it is, how to use your P organs to make this one even better, and also Legion Pluck locations so you can upgrade it straight away. On top of pulling enemies to you, you can also pull yourself to the target. That's already good with one upgrade because it's a great gap closer and you can hit straight afterwards. But you can also do a dodge after pulling to you. And most importantly, with the last upgrade, the attack link. And that one is good against elites and against bosses likewise, making it absolutely incredible. Yes, pulling enemies is nice in many situations, but being able to pull yourself in, smack, go up, boom, then straight up follow up with another one to execute, perfection. And it works exactly like that in the real world. We're here in the Grana Expedition, and let me show you one very annoying opponent. I mean, these guys are relatively easy to kill, but we can also just pull in, go up, smack down, dead. I mean, again, they're not really hard to kill, right? You can just murder them, but these guys, they're plenty annoying. Being able though to pull yourself in, go up, smack him, follow up with straight up another one, do the weapon art, and you already have him staggered. Yes, it can be that easy to completely obliterate your opponent. Still, you can also use it to pull things in, and there is now P organs to make this even more amazing. So the pull is also valid. Hit him in, kill him. But the true beauty really is the gap closer into going up, going down, do the initial stagger, follow up with one stagger, weapon art, and completely have something that would be a maybe very annoying encounter just trivialized. Now off to P organs. And don't worry if you took different decisions with your P organs, but at the end of the Grana exhibition, you can actually reset all your organs and also your Legion arm upgrades to follow in my footprints if you want to. The upgrades you're looking for are under the ability tab. Charge Legion when eliminating an enemy. Fantastic to continuously be able to robe things in and robe yourself in. Also, lower Legion consumption in a crisis when you're low HP, less consumption. Didn't find that one that useful. More important would be level 2, Charge Legion when eliminating an enemy, and followed up by Auto Charge Legion in the tier 5 tier later as you make all your way over there. That gets combined with item type stuff because you can go for Legion Magazine Effect Enhance, so that your Legion Magazine would actually give you even more Legion, which also has a second tier. And importantly, you could take increased consumable possession limit to have more consumables, to have more Legion magazines on you, to be able to always charge it up also during boss fights very quickly. When it comes down to the big notes, not the small notes, there's none that really helps with the Legion magazine, but there are some that have a nice synergy with it. And for me, that has been this: add a Fable slot. Yes, you get a bonus Fable slot, and you can add a second Fable slot as well, so that in total you actually have 5 Fable slots. And that works super well with your Legion arm, as you're pulling yourself in, jumping, hitting, staggering. Fable's Art, do more Fable Art damage. And there's even an amulet that increases weapon attack in proportion to a number of Fable slots. Works quite well together. Legion plugs are plenty throughout the world, but always check the vendors. The shady dealers, Paladina, everyone inside the Hotel Krat, they are partially selling Legion plugs, and quite some of them. That being said, as soon as you're in the cathedral, after going downstairs, making your way up the clock tower, killing some of those annoying elite opponents, you'll get into this corridor with a slime ball throwing Slimy on top. And there's cracks in the floor that you can choose to fall into or just bypass completely. Highly recommend to fall into. There is a Legion plug to be found, so you can upgrade your arm straight away. But there's also another chest with a little goodie plus a butterfly for you in there. Now, as a little bonus, what weapon will be paired together with a pulling going in? What's the stagger stat we need? Fast, slow attacking? Let me show you. I've been mostly using the Krat Police Baton Handle plus the Booster Glaive Blade. The reason: very fast light attacks with a quick charging charge attack. So no big wind up. If you're pulling yourself in now, you could follow up with an overhead hit really quickly, and then straight up go for the execute, which then after the thing lifts up, has you go for your Fable Art, which straight up does tremendous damage to then continue clapping your opponent's cheeks. Works as a very good combination against bosses. If you're now taking one of the heavier weapons, that's actually really cool for the hit, because, well, you do your heavy weapon damage, but if you then try to follow up with a slash before you can do the execute, it might take some time to actually get your hit properly in. That being said, the pull kind of bypasses the slow attacking. You have this blade, right? That's quite the slow attacks. But if you're pulling yourself in now, it doesn't really care about the slow attacks, right? So you'd be straight going in and bypass your slow attack, which can lead to extreme staggers. There's also a very interesting interaction with a weapon you'll get later on. You can make it go, which gives you the bonus slice damage, but as long as it's running, and if you then pull in, it does also the bonus slicing that it does here due to being activated in the pull motion and the pull hitting. I will admit, I leveled up my pull arm at the very last 2 bosses. Yes, it took me a while to recognize how good it is, but it trivialized the end content tremendously and made it so much easier, especially the annoying elite opponents. Don't do my mistake, do it earlier. If you're also looking for OP weapons early, or how to actually allocate your stats, go for these 2 videos. Enjoy.